Get ready for a deep dive into the world of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight Trilogy, a cinematic journey that left an indelible mark on superhero films. But, as with any iconic trilogy, revisiting it reveals some harsh realities that might just surprise you. The evolution of Nolan's vision. Each film in the trilogy represents a step forward in ambition and storytelling. Batman Begins laid the foundation, grounding Gotham City after the campy take of Joel Schumacher. The Dark Knight built upon its success, becoming a cultural phenomenon and earning Heath Ledger a posthumous Oscar. And The Dark Knight Rises took it to the next level with its operatic scope and ambitious production. Together, they grossed over $2.4 billion worldwide and influenced a generation of action films. But here's where it's controversial. Time hasn't been entirely kind to this trilogy. After 2 decades, some flaws start to show. Choices once considered bold now seem limiting, and the relentless grim-dark storytelling can feel labored, especially in comparison to the gritty adaptations that followed. Fight choreography, a missed opportunity. Nolan's mastery in staging atmospheric scenes and bringing mythic dialogue to life is undeniable. However, his hand-to-hand combat scenes leave much to be desired. The shaky cam technique, once praised, now results in incoherent and fleeting fight scenes. It's clear that Nolan and his DP, Willie Pfister, were aiming for a clever sleight of hand, but it often falls short, especially when compared to the clear and crisp combat scenes we see today. The Dark Knight's Two-Face, a frustrating twist. The Dark Knight is renowned for Heath Ledger's iconic Joker, but it also delivered a powerful and faithful adaptation of Harvey Dent's descent into Two-Face. Aaron Eckhart's performance as Gotham's assistant district attorney is both compelling and true to the character. However, in a move that frustrated many fans, Two-Face is killed off in the film's closing moments, leaving little room for exploration of this complex character. This decision by Nolan was a topic of much debate, and many fans held out hope that Two-Face would return in The Dark Knight Rises. But Eckhart himself put those hopes to rest, confirming his character's demise. Anne Hathaway's Selina Kyle, a misunderstood gem. One of the harsh realities of the trilogy is the backlash Anne Hathaway faced for her portrayal of Selina Kyle/Catwoman. The prejudice against Hathaway's past roles and her musical theater kid energy was unfounded. Hathaway brought a unique playfulness and charm to the role, injecting a debonair quality into the Batman rogues gallery. Her performance as Catwoman is the best female portrayal in the trilogy, showcasing a fully realized and dynamic character. Christian Bale's Batman voice, a memorable and loopy choice. Christian Bale's Batman voice, a growl that has become iconic, was a double-edged sword. While it added to the character's mystique in Batman Begins, by the time The Dark Knight rolled around, it became a near parody. The voice, meant to disguise Bruce Wayne's identity, often overshadowed the emotional conversations Batman had with his allies. It's a choice that, while memorable, might have been better served in smaller doses. The Dark Knight Rises, a plot hole-ridden finale. The Dark Knight was a critical and commercial success, so The Dark Knight Rises had a tough act to follow. While it isn't a complete misfire, the film flounders due to plot holes and storytelling omissions. With a runtime of over 2.5 hours, one would expect more clarity and explanation, especially for some of the more glaring gaps in the narrative. The real star, Alfred, not Batman. Every chapter of the trilogy draws from different genres, but it's Michael Caine's Alfred that provides the strongest storyline throughout. Alfred, Bruce's guardian and proxy father, is the emotional center of the trilogy. His quiet devotion to Bruce and his heartbreak in The Dark Knight Rises, when Bruce goes into seclusion, is a powerful arc that many viewers connect with. Nolan's realism. A double-edged sword, Nolan's commitment to grounded realism revolutionized superhero movies and the action genre. However, it also limited the franchise's access to Batman's rich catalog of iconic villains. Characters like Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, and Poison Ivy, who are integral to Batman's world, were considered too fantastical for Nolan's vision. Even the villains he did include, like Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul, were toned down significantly. The missing ingredient: Robin's absence. The Dark Knight Trilogy is a dark and dramatic depiction of Gotham, with little room for hope. Critics and fans loved it, but the absence of Robin, a character who brings a sense of optimism and belief in heroes, is noticeable. A Robin could have provided an emotional counterweight to the trilogy's often joyless tone, offering a much-needed lift to the films and the characters. The time jump, a missed opportunity for storytelling. The Dark Knight ended on a cliffhanger, leaving many storylines open for exploration. However, The Dark Knight Rises jumped forward in time, leaving those storylines unresolved. This decision, while puzzling at the time, feels even more frustrating now, as it leaves a sense of incompleteness in the trilogy. The detective, Lucius Fox, not Batman. Despite the trilogy's focus on realism, the world's greatest detective rarely does any detecting. It's Morgan Freeman's Lucius Fox who takes on the role of the true deductive mind, unraveling complex schemes and providing the necessary brainpower to Batman's brawn. Fox's character, while a side character, stands out as the ethical compass and the voice of reason in the trilogy.